So with the success of Prey, I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about the next step, what might be the next step in horror films. And what I mean by that is this next big step in horror movies, and kind of a crazy idea, but knowing Hollywood, they always kind of chase trends when a trend is working. And when Prey is basically the biggest movie on Hulu and one of the top-rated films of the year, yeah, there tends to be a trend that gets chased. So, it's not... I've talked about, like, other period film. A video I did recently was talking about period pieces... tongue-tied. Points in time where you could see the Predator, ranging from the era of the samurai and stuff like that. But there are other horror franchises out there that wouldn't it be interesting if you did a period-era horror film? And I think that might be a running trend because, like I said, Hollywood has this wild tendency to chase trends, and there's no better trend than, you know, one that's really good. So, now, for reference, just for reference, there really, not every horror franchise can really, you can't really chase you can't really do this with every horror film. You can't do this... Well, you could if you finagle the timelines. You can't do this with, like, obviously, Michael. You can't... Obviously, with now Michael, you'd have to wait till the franchise... Halloween ends as it ends the new trilogy. You could do this with Jason if you put this in, like, as a period piece from... Maybe, like, the best way you could do Jason, if you were to do a period piece horror, is not so much a period in the 80s, but maybe say, like, this is, like, Jason's first kills, like, bring back Baghead Jason, and this is this is his first time killing, and, like, a secret inner prequel between parts 1 and 2. That might be the logical way to go, and we have heard word that the people over at the producers of It are talking about, like, big news for Friday the 13th, which, please, something, anything. But yeah, so that's something you have to look. That's something you have to look at. Freddy, you could do as, like, maybe. I would say the best way you could do a period film with Freddy is set it as, like, a prequel, but everyone's wanted that. Now. Now, there are horror franchises that you could make into period pieces. Predator showed that. But who else could you see as a period piece film? There are several. I think, obviously, we've kind of done that with some of the other franchises, like we did that kind of with with the Conjuring spin-off films, like The Nun, and you could do an Annabelle film or a Conjuring film set in, like, the Great Depression. That actually would be kind of cool if you did, like, a Great Depression Conjuring film, like Conjuring the First Evil or something like that. I do think if you and barely have any connection to the Warrens, because that's how Hollywood do. I know that's like, oh, that's cheap. That's cheap, and I'm like, that's Hollywood. So I could definitely see, like, them going, oh, it's going to be a period piece horror, and it's going to be like a Conjuring film set in a different era and time, like the Great Depression. Which I'm surprised we don't get a lot of Great Depression haunting films. Go figure. As for others, I think it would be... This is one I think would be really good in the Great Depression era. This would be perfect. Pumpkinhead. I would absolutely love to see a Pumpkinhead movie set in the Great Depression era. Now, we did kind of get a Hatfields and McCoy era Pumpkinhead film, but they did kind of change it a lot, if I remember. That fourth Pumpkinhead movie I only saw once. I've never seen it again. It's literally nowhere I can find it, and as I recall, it was just kind of boring for me. But yeah, a Pumpkinhead film where a Pumpkinhead film set during the Great Depression in, like, the deep rural South would be really cool. Hell, Pumpkinhead's apparently been around for a long time because he is the demon of sin, of wrath. So you could have Pumpkinhead set in, like, the Civil War. You could have Pumpkinhead as, like I said, the gangster, like a 1950s era. The possibilities are really endless. Yeah. As for others, I think, honestly, Hellraiser could work as a period film. And technically it has done. there was basically Hellraiser Bloodlines, where it talked about the origins of the Lament configuration. So it wouldn't I think it'd be really cool, and the Cenobites themselves all come from different time periods. Pinhead himself is a World War I captain who became a Cenobite later on in life. So you could do like a story where we follow, like, I don't know, we have a story set in maybe the 60s. Like, you could do like something like a Manson-esque cult that is like worships pain, and they're worshipping the Lament configuration. I mean, 60s is a period piece at this point, so yeah, how about, yeah, I would totally be down for a Hellraiser movie set in the 1960s, the era of, like, free love, and how that crosses that line between pleasure and pain, because you gotta remember, that's the time period where, like, you know, feminism was taking off, you know, civil rights was taking off, free love, hippies, fucking... Playboy was headed off. There was this big thing in the late 60s, early 70s, where it was like pleasure and pain were very much like blurring lines. So, wouldn't that be kind of cool if we did like some kind of fun, like something with, like a Hellraiser story set in that era of free love? That'd be really cool, and maybe introduce, like, maybe that can be a new origin for one of the Cenobites, like, especially the woman, the slit-mouth woman, or the slit-throat woman. That'd be really cool. Definitely, I would die on that hill that you could do Hellraiser as a period piece, because, again, we had that in Bloodlines. Bloodlines is not a good movie. I fully acknowledge that Hellraiser Bloodlines is not a good movie, but it did kind of show... But it's, comparatively speaking, to the other Hellraiser sequels post... that one, and, you know, Post 3, which is not a good movie in itself, but I think it's fun. I think it's good for what it is. I do think it is good for what it is. But yeah, as for other places you could put you could definitely put a Hellraiser film in. I would say World War II, like maybe a group of Nazis have found the Lament configuration and are taking it to the Fuhrer. Because that was the thing, I'm sure a lot of you guys know by now, that, like, the Nazis really got into the occult and would find anything connected to the occult. So wouldn't it be fun if, like, you have, like, they found the Lament configuration, or are bringing it to the Fuhrer, and they want to bring it to Hitler to, like, use in the war, but on the boat ride from there to where they find it, like, they could find, like, maybe they found it in Elliot Spencer's grave, or wherever it was, somewhere, like, deep in Africa, or somewhere, like, it's like the Lament configuration's been hidden, and along the way back to Germany, on the sailing back to Germany on this boat, you just have the Cenobites just fucking murdering Nazis left and right. And no one fucking care, because they're Nazis, fuck them. That would, yeah. Make it a Hellraiser, like, it could be like, Elliot Spencer, who became Pinhead, like, this is his big, like, you know, this is him, like, really showing off his powers, since he's been in hell for so long, since becoming a Cenobite, and no one's used the box in, like, over 20 years. So he's been in hell, like, training for this day, and now everyone on this fucking boat is gonna get fucking killed. Yeah, totally. I think a World War II story with the Cenobites would be pretty fucking off the chain. I think, like I said, Pumpkinhead, Great Depression, or, like, gangster era, like, like Pumpkinhead killing rum runners, that would be really sick. That would be a really sick one. Jeepers Creepers! I can't stand the movies because of the director. The movies are tainted for me, but I do see, since it is an immortal being, you could set it in a different time period. Like, again, 1950s gangsters, or, maybe during the Hatfields and McCoys era, something of that nature. I think if you were to ever... I think would be another fun one is Alien. Now, hear me out. I pitched an idea for an Alien story called Alien 1954, where a xenomorph facehugger was being transported on an alien ship. The facehugger got loose, latched onto one of the alien pilots, the ship crashed, in 1954 rural America, like some American heartland in like, I don't know, Maine or some shit. Because according to Stephen King, every evil thing happens in Maine. And basically, it acts like a classic 1950s movie film. And also, if you're wondering, yeah, 1954 was a big year for science fiction and science fiction and radioactivity movies. You had them. You had Creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh yeah, and you had this movie in Japan, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Godzilla. So that's what I would do, like Alien, like just have not a queen, not like it's a takeover or anything, but a lone xenomorph. Just have that kind of fun, 1950s alien sci-fi feel, but also have all the gore and blood of an alien film. That would be really cool. Like, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, Alien 1954. That would be my pitch. As for others, I do think that you could do... I think there is a lot of fun with some of the other characters. Like, I think you could do... Like, they've shown Puppet Masters period piece films. So, you know, another Puppet Master film maybe set post-World War II. I don't know. Maybe the 60s? That'd be kind of fun. I would say bring back Rawhead Rex. I know no one's going to want Rawhead Rex, but I kind of... That movie is so trash and so fun. I think that would be kind of fun as like a... like an origin film with like Rawhead slaughtering his way through, you know, the Celtic tribes of Ireland. That'd be a lot of fun. Maybe an evil... Actually, here's another one. Let me pitch this one. A Evil Dead movie without Ash. Stay with me. An Evil Dead film set solely on... in the Dark Ages, like during the Black Plague. Call it Evil Dead Black Plague or something, and have it with... It's set during the Black Plague, and Deadites are killing all these random villagers, and definitely bring up more of the horror than anything else. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. I think there's a lot of films out there, and I'm pretty sure I've missed a few, but anyway. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of... do you think period piece horror could work? And what franchises could you see in different timelines, in different points in time? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, I am Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.